Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Roden, and in today's video, we're going to tell you how to build the perfect Lexus IS second generation. This list is going to apply to the IS250s, IS350s, and even the ISF, although when it comes to the ISF, obviously exterior mods have to be switched around a little bit since the car does have different body parts on it. Honestly, if you do have an ISF, if you're asking for exterior mods, here's my humble opinion on it. Don't change anything. The ISF's exterior looks perfect how it is. I maybe add like some front splitter, like a side skirt splitter, or maybe like a rear diffuser, something like that, but that's about it. But yeah, everything for all these parts is pretty much universal across the IS250, IS350, and ISF. You are going to have to change around some engine parts once we get to the performance parts, obviously, depending on which engine you have, but that's about it. All right. The way these videos work, in case you're new here, is first we go over all the exterior mods I would do to the car and the price of all of them. Then we do the same with the interior and the performance mods, and I give you the grand total of the entire build, including the cost of the car itself. This is all just personal opinion, and it's sort of a street car base. We never lean towards one specific side of things, so if you're specifically looking for a drift build or a track build or a hill climb build, whatever it may be, this is not the video. This video is just a good street car base. If you do all this stuff, you could still 100% go in any of those three directions, or any direction really, and get away with it. This is just my personal opinion on what I would do to the car if I owned one. It's just like a nice little build. Also, all the prices are implying that you are going to do the work yourself. If you plan on bringing it to a professional, no judgment here, but if you plan on doing that, just expect to pay 2 to 3 times the total cost of today's build, because it's obviously going to cost a lot of money if you have somebody else do it. So all the prices for today's video is implying that you yourself are going to do the work. Final little thing I gotta say is huge shout out to Alex Martini. He's another YouTuber who started this idea, and he made this whole like series on his channel, and I'm just doing the Roden spin on it. All right, so huge shout out to him. He started the whole series. Either way, media of the day is 12 Angry Men, one of my favorite movies ever. It sounds really boring, so it's like, oh, it's just a room full of men arguing. No, it's so good. It's so good. You gotta watch 12 Angry Men if you haven't already. Such a good movie. But without further ado, let's go right into it with how to build the perfect Lexus IS second generation. But obviously, in order to even begin talking about building a Lexus IS second gen, we need to own a Lexus IS second gen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So the cost of a Lexus IS, in my opinion, it's going to be around $6,000. I would also, by the way, I always say this whenever I mention it on my channels, but I would also specifically look for a white one. All right, personally, I would want a white one for some reason. I don't know, I just like them in white, and I think all the mods for today's list would look good with white. So yeah, $6,000 for a Lexus IS. That's a little bit expensive for an IS250, but a little bit cheap for an IS350. So I feel like it's right there in the good spot there. So $6 grand is what I would say is the cost of the car. Obviously, if you're planning on buying an ISF, expect to pay a whole lot more than that. All right, but now let's get into the exterior mods. The first thing I would do for the exterior mods is simply an eBay front lip for $115. Yeah, can't go wrong. It's just a front lip, not a front like splitter. It's like just an added lip onto the front end that makes it look pretty nice. I feel like they should have came stock with this. It just makes it look more aggressive and just overall better. Next up would be the Spec D headlights. Spec D headlights for $300, by the way, are, I don't know what this company is. They came out of like nowhere, in my opinion, but they make really good headlights, plain and simple. I like them on the Genesis Coupe. I like them on the Lexus IS. I think they look good while not looking too over the top and too tacky. I would put them on the car for only $300 for a pair of headlights. I mean, that's not that bad at all. Next up would be the black grille for around $50. You could either paint it yourself if you want to and just spray paint it. Or you can even buy like a custom-made one online for around $50, like I said. So that's why I'm saying $50 for this. But yeah, blacking out the grille. I mean, pretty much everyone does this on every car they ever buy if it has a chrome grille. And I would do the same thing for a for the Lexus IS, just make it a little bit more aggressive up there. Next up would be the I-style side skirts for $215. Again, it just kind of is another like addition to the side skirts, not really a like splitter thing, you know what I mean? Just like the front end, it kind of just smooths out the car, makes it look a little bit more aggressive, makes it look a little bit low as well. Well, it's kit low, as the kids these days are calling it. Next up would be the eBay rear lip for $120. This is not a duckbill, but not a spoiler either. It's just like a weird added lip to it. It's not much going on there, but it's only $120. But I feel like it does complete the car. Like, I don't really care for the Lexus ISs without a little lip on the back, on the trunk of it. But then I think the duck bills are too much. You know what I mean? I think this is a perfect middle ground. It's It's a nice little addition. I like it a lot. Next up would be the Spec D taillights for $250. Again, Spec D headlights are awesome, and then the Spec D taillights, also awesome. Some reason the taillights are $50 cheaper. Don't ask me why. But yeah, I would put the taillights on it as well. And for $250, again, for a pair of two of them, you really can't beat it. That's a pretty damn good deal. I think they look really good while not looking tacky and too over the top. And next up would be the trunk spoiler for around $50. Yeah, I'm just now realizing that when I was talking about the eBay rear lip earlier, that's the rear lip on the bumper. This is the trunk spoiler I was trying to talk about. So I'm just doing this off the top of my head. Yeah, everything I said about the eBay rear lip earlier applies to this. That's what I thought I was talking about. But the eBay rear lip, now that I know what that is just fills out the car again. It's like the side skirt, it's like the front lip. It just makes the car look a little bit lower. Makes it look a little bit more aggressive, and so that's why I like that one. Sorry, I was all over the place there. For some reason, I thought when I was talking about the eBay rear lip, I thought that meant the trunk lip, but no, it's other way around. Nonetheless, next up would be the Icon Motorsports roof spoiler for around $50. Again, I've said this in a lot of these how to build videos. I think roof spoilers look very, very good on the majority of cars, but there definitely are some that I don't like them on. But on this car is one of them that I 100% do like it on. I think this looks really, really nice with a roof spoiler on it. For only $50, you can't really beat it. And again, at that point, it's not like this. That's the thing about the Lexus IS, the second gen at least. I don't really like them when they're too aggressive. Like people with like wide body kits on them, crazy splitters and canards and big spoilers. I don't really like that. I feel like the car looks really good if it just has some nice, simple little additions to it here and there, and just makes it look. It almost looks OEM plus in a way, and I love that. And that's what I would do to the car. And next up would be the window visors for $30. Window visors are a mod where it really depends on the car, man. There are a lot of cars where I would never put window visors on them, but for some reason when it comes to like bigger, luxurier style sedans, I always do kind of like them. Like I put them on the 8th Gen Civic, and now today we're going to be putting them on the Lexus IS. And for only $30, even if you don't like them, you can just take them off, man. It's at $30, you know what I mean? And finally, for the exterior mods would, of course, be the window tints for around $500. I say this in all my how to build series, but I would recommend bringing the car to a professional for the window tints. This is the only mod that I would highly recommend doing it for, just because I've seen so many people say that they could do the window tints themselves to save themselves a couple $100, and then they do it themselves, and it's peeling and bubbling within the first month. I've never seen somebody say that and be right when they say that. Every person that I've ever seen say, oh, I could just do it myself, messes it up. So I would just highly recommend just bringing it to it. It's harder than it looks. Bring it to a professional. It won't peel, it won't bubble, and it'll look nice for years to come. And yes, you're coughing up $500, but it's worth it in my opinion. And that'll be all the exterior mods for the Lexus IS. And I think that would be a perfect starting point for the Lexus IS's exterior. It would look so nice while not looking too over the top, not looking too aggressive, just a nice, clean IS, OEM plus, if you will, which gives us a grand total for the exterior, by the way, of $1,680. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. And like literally 1/3 of that is the window tints. So I mean, if for some reason you don't want to tint the windows, or you really can do it yourself, you could save a lot of money there. But now let's get into the interior mods. Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Lexus IS250. First off, for the interior mods would be the carbon interior trim for $320. Sounds like a lot for just some trim pieces, but it's the entire interior trim, and you can change every single part of it, or you can mix and match. There are some people out there that like they want to change some parts of the interior and put some carbon fiber there, but then they don't like it on the entire interior. I'm one of those guys. 100%. I don't think the entire freaking every single plastic in the interior needs to be carbon fiber. That just looks a little bit too much. And so this is a perfect set because you can choose which ones you want to put on. It is not hard to install at all. So if you don't like one put on, just take it off and put it on somewhere else. Like, you know what I mean? I think for $320, you have a whole set of them. You can mix and match. You can play around with it. You can make the interior look very, very nice. That's a very big change. Next up would be the carbon fiber steering wheel for around $500. This allows you to keep the airbag, by the way. This is not like a quick release steering wheel. This allows you to keep the airbag. So for $500, you can't really beat that, honestly. It's still safe, and it looks nice. While not being too over the top as well. I love that little like blue strip down the middle of it. I like that. I like that a lot. Next up would be the Enjuku Racing blue suede seats for $680. A little expensive, but not really. It's Enjuku Racing. Like, they make some quality items, and they're blue and they're suede. And I know you're probably saying to yourself, blue interior, really, Mark? But with think about it now. The one I would buy would be white. You know what I'm saying? The one I would buy would be white. And so with the blue interior, that blue little strip on the steering wheel, and then there's even one more thing that we're going to change on the car that's going to be blue as well. I think it would look good. Not too much, but I think it would look good. I think it would look really, really nice. White and blue, that's a good combo right there. Next up would be the P2M checkered floor mats for $100. That's right, buddy. I'm not doing red floor mats today. I saw some guy leave a comment in my last how to build video, and it was like, Mark, red floor mats, Roden, because put red floor mats in a lot of the how to build videos, because I like red interiors. I think they look pretty nice on sports cars. But today, since we're doing the blue, I would obviously not do red. It would look like Superman. And so instead I would do these. These look pretty decent, man. I actually wanted these for my 350Z a long time ago. They're pretty much universal ones, so they can apply to pretty much any car. And they look really nice, actually. They're not like too tacky and stupid. I've seen so many floor mats where they have these crazy designs on them, and I'm just like, that's just too much, you know. I don't need all that stuff on my floor mats. I just want them to look pretty nice. But this does have a design on it, but it's not too over the top. I like it a lot. Next up will be the Mishimoto shift knob for 50 bucks. I'm not sponsored, but literally I don't think there's going to be a single how to build video where I don't recommend buying a Mishimoto shift knob, just because I've had them in every one of my cars. I love them. I love how they feel. I love the size of them. I love the design of them. I love everything about them, and you can get them in literally any color you want. So if you want to get it in blue to match the seats, you can. I probably would, but if you think that's too much blue, then you can just get it in black or just white or whatever it is you want to do, and it'll work 100%. And next up for the interior would be the ambient lighting for $200. Ambient lighting on this car, I think, would go hard. I think it would go really hard, because as you can tell, this is sort of like a street style build, but with a little bit of sportiness to it. And the ambient lighting, I think, would match perfectly. I would not do the starry headliner though. Not do that. Next up would be the Apple, or finally for the interior, actually this is the last interior mod, would be the Apple CarPlay, obviously, for $170. Apple CarPlay is like a must-have in a lot of the older cars, as most people understand. This is a car that would absolutely 100% benefit from having Apple CarPlay. This is just a quality of life feature. Pretty much, people that don't even really like cars, but Apple CarPlay in their cars, it's a necessity. Which, by the way, that gives us a grand total for the interior of $2,030. And a lot of that money goes to the carbon wheel and the suede seats. That's literally half the money goes to the carbon wheel and the suede seats. So for whatever reason you like the stock seats and the stock carbon wheel, then you could save a whole lot more. You could literally do $1,000 for the interior and be perfect. But I would recommend doing those too. For 2,000 bucks, I mean, you have a really nice interior and you have a really decent. It looks nice on the outside. You feel nice on the inside. It's a good start, man. But now let's get into the performance mods. All right. And I actually changed it up a little bit. I went for a mod that I usually don't do on my how to builds. But first off is a mod that I always do on my how to builds, obviously. The Raceland coilovers for $550. Coilovers are going to be on every one of these, just a fair warning. Unless it's like a more higher end car, maybe you'll do lowering springs instead. But 90% of the time there's going to be coilovers on my how to build videos, because I like lowered cars. I mean, that's all there is to it. I like them a lot. I think they look good. So Raceland coilovers are pretty decent. They're not like the best quality, but they're not the worst quality. For $550, you can't really beat it. Next up would be the Flash Arc catback exhaust for around $360. It's what is there to say? It's a catback exhaust. As you're going to tell very, very soon here, this is the only like true quote unquote performance mod that I have here in terms of like horsepower gains. I don't have a cold air intake on today's video. I don't have a turbo kit on today's video. I don't have any of that stuff on today's video because it's a Lexus. And I personally, if I were owning a Lexus IS, I would want the car to be as reliable as possible. I'd use it as a daily driver that looks baller as hell, and I can have a little bit of fun with since it's rear-wheel drive. But it's just going to be reliable as hell. So I wouldn't change too much of the engine parts. But obviously, you got to do the exhaust to sound a little bit nice. All right, you got to do the exhaust so you can sound a little cool. And so I would do the exhaust. It's the only horsepower additive on today's video. All right, $360 for that, not bad. The next performance mod though is the one that I would change, that I usually don't do on a lot of these how to build videos. The Seika big brake kit for $1,200. Hear me out. I don't do a lot of big brake kits on these cars because big brake kits aren't very necessary on a street car. It's just not how it is. But the Lexus IS is a bit of a heavier car that could 100% benefit from a big brake kit. But on top of that, this big brake kit, I don't know what it is about it on this specific Lexus IS. It looks awesome. And then on top of that, I would paint the calipers blue to match the blue interior. Hey, you picking up what I'm putting down? To match the blue interior with the blue stripe on the steering wheel there and the blue seats. I would paint the calipers blue to match that, and I think that would look incredible for $50 to paint the calipers blue. Like, that would be a good combo right there. The big brake kit with the blue calipers. Hello, I'm speaking now. Shut up and listen. The schizophrenic is speaking. That would go hard. Next up for the performance mods would be Oddhan AH08 in Hyper Black for $1,000 for a set of 4 of them. Hyper Black though is more like a gunmetal gray. Actually, it's not actually like just a gloss black. It's a weirder. It's a mixture of gray and black. I think this would be tough. I think this would, dude, with the white. Listen, with the white car, okay, Hyper Black wheels, blue calipers. The Spec D taillights and headlights both have like sort of like a tint to them. They make them. It looks a little bit darker than the stock headlights, so that would be a little bit darker as well. The blacked out grille, and then you got the interior with the suede blue seats. This little blue stripe. It makes me, dude, thinking about that makes me want to buy a Lexus IS and do that right now. literally makes me want to do that right now. I think that would be a fire-ass build. But by the way, if you're going to be buying the odd Honda AH08 Hyper Black wheels, you're obviously going to need tires to match those with, so I put $1,000 also for the tires. We wouldn't go too, again, just like with all these how to build videos, we wouldn't go too crazy with the tires. We would just put some regular old tires on them. And so for a set of 4 of them, I think $1,000 is a good range, which by the way gives us a grand total for the performance of $4,160. Pretty expensive, but that's usually how it is in these how to build videos. The performance does tend to be the most expensive one here, because you really don't want to cheap out on that. The exterior, you can cheap out as much as you want. Who cares? If it breaks, you just buy another one for $100. It's not going to be the end of the world. Interior, pretty much the same thing. It's not that big a deal if something breaks in there, but there are some things in the interior, for example, the carbon fiber steering wheel or the seats, that you don't really want to cheap out on, because so it could be literally life or death if you get into an accident. And then performance are the ones that you really don't want to cheap out on, because they're, you know, they're the car. So yeah, for $4,000 for a perfect, I mean, this dude, which by the way gives us a grand total of $6,000 for purchasing the car in the first place, $1,680 for all the exterior mods, $2,030 for all of the interior mods, $4,160 for all of the performance mods, and a grand total of all of that combined of $13,870. Under 15 grand, you can have, in my opinion, a perfect looking, a perfect interior. You're going to feel really cool inside the car and everything like that. It's going to feel nice while not ruining the drivability of it, and a pretty fun car that sounds good, lowered, and has nice wheels, good fitment, and a nice brake kit as well. Like, all of that for under 15 grand. A perfect Lexus IS, in my opinion. I mean, I think you can't beat it, guys. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on how to build the perfect Lexus IS 2nd generation. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what reviews you like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my social medias or any of my other YouTube channels for any of that great Momo Jumbo. And thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's video is going to be the top 15 best cars for less than 3K. 3K is going to be next in our 1K to 100K cheap cars series that we've been doing recently, as you guys know. And then after that, obviously, we'll be doing the next how to build series. What is that going to be on? Thursday. It's going to be on Thursday, the next how to build video. And so I have a couple of recommendations. A lot of you guys have been leaving some recommendations, and I greatly appreciate that. But I don't know exactly which one we're going to do next. So I've seen somebody recommended the C5 Corvette. Somebody recommended the Infiniti Q50. And there was even somebody recommended the C7 Corvette as well. And then there was one more that I remember seeing. I'm sure there was even a couple more as well that I just didn't end up seeing for whatever reason. But there was one more car that I specifically remember seeing somebody recommend. And now I can't remember it. It's driving me nuts. Oh, the Hyundai Veloster first gen, which is kind of interesting because I've never really made, I don't even think I've ever made like a deep dive on a Hyundai Veloster. Well, I definitely never made a deep dive on a Hyundai Veloster, but I don't think I've ever even made a good, bad, and ugly on a Hyundai Veloster or anything like that. I've never made like a video dedicated to the Hyundai Veloster on this channel ever, so it'll be fun to do that. I've never really thought about how I would modify a Hyundai Veloster because I've never wanted to buy one personally. It would be a pretty fun one to do. So maybe that one will be next. Maybe the Q50 will be next. Maybe the C5 Corvette. Maybe the C7 Corvette will be next. I don't know. I'm leaning towards C5 Corvette. For some reason, I want to do a C5 Corvette video. So it might be how to build the perfect C5 Corvette next. Will be the next deep how to build video. But I'm not too sure just yet. So bear with me on that one. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.